real bad. I've been a real bad boy on the town all night. Starting to calm down with the morning light. I'm in the bed, down in the dirt, down in the dirt, down in the dirt, down in the dirt. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, race fans out there watching tonight. Sorry for hiccup there. We are at USA International Speedway in the Dirt Late Models with the American Thunder Dirt Late Model Series. My co-host tonight will be Katie Dugas. Katie?
Hey, y'all.
All right, and Katie's going to give you all the information about the race as we sit here and roll through the scenic views on the racetrack. You'll see some of the cars out there as they go by. We are in warm-up. We've got about 13 minutes to go. Kitty's going to give us the information on the race, and then let's see if we can possibly catch a couple of drivers walking down pit road.
Yeah, like Ron said, we've got a little less than 14 minutes left. Not a very big field tonight here at USA, but this is kind of a difficult track. Wednesday night seemed to be extremely difficult for the guys. We actually had more caution laps than we did race laps, but that's all right. These guys are definitely going to give you a heck of a show here. We're coming at you for 50 laps, and you have some big names in here tonight. Nathan Kassler was our winner last week. Jeremy Capron sitting back there, he's still our points winner, our points leader, should I say, followed by Brandon Thornhill and Justin Sick. But definitely a driver I'd like to get up here is going to be that 07 of Dylan Gonez. He is running extremely fast tonight, and I'd like to see what he thinks his chances are.
Alrighty, we'll see if we can get a word in with Dylan here. Make our way down and
on board.
Dylan Gonez, this is Ron Klein up in the booth. You got a copy?
Oh, yep, no problem. How's it going?
Doing very well. Katie had mentioned that she'd like to see if she could get a word in with you before the race starts, so I'm going to hand it off to her.
Well, hey, Dylan.
What's going on, Katie?
Going pretty good. You know, you doubt yourself a lot, but you are sitting third fastest on the speed charts, you know, quite close to our leader. How you feeling about your chances?
Yeah, seeing that myself, I was kind of shocked. I only got maybe 2 minutes of practicing before the session, but not too bad with the fresh track. But as it progresses, I don't know. I tried practicing the track with it at 80% first, and then I go with it at 0%. And when it was at 80, it wasn't that pretty, I'll tell you that.
Well, maybe you have it figured out because, like I said, you're not sitting far behind our top two. So I'm going to let you get back to practicing and wish you all the best tonight.
Thanks a lot. Have a great night.
Alrighty, and that was Dylan. Dylan, I hate to say it, but I wasn't even paying attention where I pulled you from. Were you down in the big group in Misfits?
You betcha.
Alrighty. Well, good luck tonight, sir.
Thank you.
All right, and as Katie said, that was Dylan Gonez, the driver of the 07 car. It's going to be a pretty interesting evening. We can show up the track info here. We are at a 0.60 miles, so just a little over a half-mile track, obviously 4 turns. Track elevation is 139 feet, and that is 139 feet above sea level. Current track temperature is 77 degrees, so boys be making plenty of power out there. We are located in Lakeland. Weather-wise tonight, we're looking at 77 degrees. There is a 4 mile per hour gust of wind, so that could affect a few things in qualifying. Won't really matter in the race because everybody will be at the same during the race, but this could be dynamic, and you could see the winds change and shift a little bit. 33% humidity, no fog, and we got mostly cloudy skies for this evening. Hopefully we don't get any rain showers.
I'll tell you, 33% humidity in Florida, I think that could be a spoof on iRacing's end.
Absolutely, positively would have to agree with you there. Looks like we've got about 9 minutes to go. Let's see if maybe we can catch a word with one of another driver here. We got a couple of drivers that have come into Loose Lug Nuts recently, racing not only on the dirt but on the asphalt. One of them being Randy Arms. Let's see if we can get Randy up here for a quick interview. Randy Arms is Ron Klein up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, but I got you.
All right, I was just mentioning to our viewers that you somewhat new to Loose Lug Nuts and been pretty successful from what I've seen. Of course, I have taken kind of some time away from the simulator and spent some time in real life, but I've kept my eyes out on the Loose Lug Nuts Facebook page, and I've seen you've been pretty successful. What are you thinking about tonight here against these guys on dirt?
Well, we got a bunch of really good guys who run with us. So the few races I've done, I've been able to run top 5 or so. So I mean, if I can just stay up there with those guys, that'd be like I'd be glad for that. But not a huge. I'm not too fond of this track, so we're just gonna figure out there and see what we can do.
We'll copy that. Flipping to the asphalt side of things, what nights can we expect to see you out there in loose lug nuts on the asphalt tracks?
Well, I want to run them all, but sometimes that's kind of hard to do. I really like the trucks, so I'm gonna try to be there every. I think what is it, structure? I think
Trucks on Thursday nights.
Thursday. Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna try to run those, and probably the Xfinity as well. The Cup cars, they just make me mad with this new package. So I don't know if I'll be there every week for that, but I'll try to be there as much as I can. Then the new super late model stuff on Tuesday, that's been a blast. So probably gonna try to run as much of those as I can as well, really. So really, I mean, I'm just gonna, if I got time, I'm gonna try to run them all. I don't know.
Well, that sounds great by me. So we've got Tuesday night super late model series. For those of you that don't know, we've got the it's not technically under the Loose Lug Nuts banner, but the Wednesday night modified series that Misfit Mods runs over there. We got the Thursday night truck series sponsored by Support the Troops this year. Saturday night series in the Xfinity car. That's sponsored by Race Gear and forgetting who else. And then on Sunday nights, we got the Cup series, the big boy cars that Randy was just talking about. That not really fond of that package, and I can definitely understand that. So if you want to catch some racing, you can catch all that action, with the exception of Tuesday nights, over on ASN Broadcasting. So good luck to you tonight, Randy. Thanks for the interview, and hope to see you up front and maybe get a chance to talk to you at the end of the race.
All right, bud. I appreciate her.
All right, folks, that was Randy Arms, and we got about 5 minutes left to go, Katie. Probably get one more interview in before we let everybody just kind of settle in and do their thing, and then maybe you and I can kind of talk a little bit about the race and what we expect.
All right, let's pull Justin Sick up. We've seen him pretty consistent on asphalt and in dirt, so we can get him up here.
All right, bringing up Justin. Justin Sick, this is Ron, Katie in the booth. You got a copy?
Yep.
Well, sir, we've seen you consistent on pretty much asphalt side and dirt. You're running, good times tonight. So how you feeling about your chances?
Feeling pretty good. I'm pretty comfortable at this track. I enjoy running here. I'm just gonna take my time and see how it goes.
All right, sir. Well, like I said, we've seen you on both asphalt and dirt. Personally, do you have a preference on which one you like better?
Dirt for sure.
All right, sir. Well, we're going to let you get back to practicing, and good luck tonight.
All right, thanks.
Alrighty, and that will pretty much wrap up our pit road walk, talk to the drivers tonight. We something that we like to do over here at Exile Broadcasting, talk to drivers before the race, kind of get a little bit of feel for what they feel the night's gonna provide for us, and then talk about a few other things. Some good information. One thing I did notice, Katie, when Mr. Arms is up here, did you happen to catch that he kind of reminds me of Dale Earnhardt Jr. a little bit, his voice even?
We have an ongoing bet from, I mean, every league that we run, we swear it's him. And I saw him on MSNBC, not MSNBC, NBC Sports earlier. And I said, you know, if he shows up tonight, maybe I'm proven wrong, but I'm still not 100% convinced.
Copy that. So the boys got about 3 more minutes of warm up left. Let's talk about track. Talk about where do you expect to see some passing. What kind of racing you think we're going to see out here, Katie? This is a paper clip style racetrack with longer straightaways, very what I would call tight radius turns or corners, and not a tremendous amount of banking.
Yeah, Wednesday night, like I said, was extremely rough for these guys. I know they were in the UMPs, but still, it seemed like they were having to get on their brakes extremely hard, or, you know, lift a whole lot coming around these corners, and it just caused for a lot of pileups, a lot of cautions. But, you know, it's not any lack of talent on these drivers. These guys are big guys, so I think tonight is going to be a whole lot better.
We're riding on board right now with who happens to be none other than Topper Dugas. Watching him throw it into the corner. Like I said, the corners are a bit tight. It may not look that way from the camera angle that I am showing, so we'll go in cockpit this lap. See this long straightaway as we go into 1 and 2. Topper getting it completely sideways, off of the gas, back on the gas, through the corner and back down the long straightaway. So that's the kind of racing that these guys are going to be, or that's the kind of cornering that these guys are going to be dealing with. It'd be interesting to see if there can be any passing in the corners. Where do you think you'll see the majority of the passing tonight?
I think if anything, you're going to see the most coming probably around those corners. You're going to see some of them try to pull some slide jobs. I don't think they're going to be able to stick, but I think that's where, if any, that's where you're going to see the most at.
I mean, what do you think lane-wise? You think we got a 2-lane track here? We know pretty much guarantee that we're not going to see 3 wide, except for maybe something on the straightaway if somebody gets slowed up or something. But and corner-wise, when we're getting through these corners, I can see 2, and I know you could fit 3, but I don't really see 3 being that feasible. Do you?
Just because you can run 3 wide doesn't mean you should necessarily do it. I think these guys are going to try it, especially be aggressive on some of these starts, maybe, you know, coming back to green. But I don't see them sticking that way. It seemed to me the top side is really the way to go right now, and I could be seeing this completely wrong. But it looks like through these straightaways, they're coming mainly off the top, maybe try to dive low coming around the corners. But I think your fastest way around is going to be straight around the top.
Now, as far as I know, unless they change something, the track condition is going to carry over. Won't reset. So the drivers are going to have to pace themselves throughout the evening and try to keep up with the track.
Yeah, but luckily we've noticed one thing. With these tracks carrying over like that, it seems to show what kind of drivers we truly have. It shows their skill level. You know, they have to put a little bit more out there, but, you know, I think they could definitely do it.
As do I, and warm-up is coming to a close. They're going into qualifying. I'm going to be watching out to see who goes out on the track here when I got a list up in front of me. When they get in their car and get ready to go out on the track, it'll light up, and as soon as it does, we'll jump on board and watch some of these guys do their qualifying and maybe talk a little bit about it. Like everybody's scared. Nobody wants to get in their car and go out there.
Come on, it's just USA. It shouldn't be that bad.
Now, I'm not sure. Well, that's interesting. I'm getting qualifying times, but I'm not seeing any.
Are you entered as a driver?
I am. You know what? I accidentally did come in as a driver. You're you're absolutely right. Well, apologies to everyone out there watching. Unfortunately, I did come in as a driver, not even thinking about it. I was just trying to get into the session real quick. So, apologies for that. Can't show you the qualifying. We will show you the qualifying results, and we'll show you the lineup once we get to that point. So, for the next 3 minutes and 20 seconds, we get to entertain each other and those out there. Of course, you could speak to what you're seeing out there. Not sure. Katie, you still there?
Yes, sir.
Alrighty. So, looks like the majority of the field has qualified. Looks like the only ones that have not qualified are Brandon Thornhill, Corey Bodnot, and you and myself, obviously. So with that being said, looks like the field is pretty much set. Where if Corey and Brandon are both still in the room, which I can't see if they've disconnected or not, that will give us a 17 car field, so to speak. Not necessarily for the feature, because I don't know exactly how many they were pulling. Katie can give you that information.
Well, it looks like we were going to take 5 from each feature with 4 features and 2 from each main. So a 22 car field, you know, obviously we're going to have all of our drivers transfer through. So, you know, like I said, I still think we're going to have a really good show with these guys.
As do I. I think we got a fairly talented field out there, and like you said, they had a little bit. Not they, but some of the drivers had a little bit of trouble on Wednesday here. I'm sure there's a carryover of drivers from that are also racing tonight who probably learned a few lessons Wednesday that will carry over to tonight.
Yeah, I know Top and Fez had a really, really rough time on Wednesday. We did have some Cardwells in there. I don't believe it was Bailey. Jordan Casey raced with us on Wednesday. At the very end, he had, you know, an unfortunate ending, but I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say he had 6 teeth pulled this week, so we're going to blame it on that.
Copy that. And with 40 seconds to go in qualifying, I'm still not seeing Brandon Thornhill pull out. Are you showing him still out there tonight, or has something come up for Brandon? Because usually Brandon does miss a race.
Yeah, I don't know that I've really ever seen him miss one after he connects, so I haven't seen him disconnect, so we're going to have to look into that.
Copy that. And with just 10 seconds left in qualifying, that's pretty much going to wrap it up unless somebody is literally on their lap right now. Timer's about to expire, and that's going to lock up the field. Drivers are going to be heading to their cars, loading everything in, strapping down, getting ready to go. Gridding has begun for our first heat.
This is going to be an interesting one. Bailey Cardwell is always extremely fast. And like I said, you have your points leader, Jeremy Capron, in there. Last week's winner, Nathan Kassler. Randy Arms, you know, is just a force to be reckoned with. I know he doubts himself on every single track that we go to, but I still don't discount him from anything. And Justin Sick sitting back there saying this, you know, he feels pretty confident. This should be a pretty good heat.
So right now I'm showing that we are supposed to have 10 drivers in this first heat race. Brandon Thornhill not showing up here, and the final car, that of Lane Dugas, of course, which was you. So it looks like we're gonna have an 8-car field if Brandon Thornhill does not connect.
I'll tell you what, I'm excited to see Brandon Murray back there actually taking the grid. I know he's not really a fan of dirt, but you know, him running with us tonight's pretty exciting.
Brandon Murray had a great run going in on Texas last night in the trucks, and tried a two-tire strategy, and unfortunately didn't work out the way that he wanted. Looked like he was going to bag a win, and got a little bit loose, and had to surrender that win to another driver. So I know Brandon's hungry. I know he's looking for that win. Definitely going to have to keep an eye out there. All right, and for you folks out there in TV land watching on, you're going to see different car numbers on the screen than you do on the cars. That's because we allow custom numbers, and a lot of these guys have the numbers that they prefer to use. We're still trying to work the rest of that out, but when you hear us talk about a driver, we'll try to call out the actual number that we see on the car so you don't get confused.
That's one thing that makes these cars so exciting. Like I said, you know, we have some bigger names in here. I know this is actually the car that Randy Arms runs in real life when he's got a motor in it. You know, some of these other guys, I mean, these paint schemes are just extremely, extremely detailed. And, you know, watching some of the stuff come across them is just super exciting for us.
Well, since we got just about a half a lap to go, I'd like to give a big shout out to all of our sponsors and everybody that makes everything turn at Loose Lug Nuts go round and round. We've got the Bruzy Cup Series, the Support Our Troops Truck Series, we got the Pit Pass Xfinity Series, Race Gear has jumped on board, Loose Lug Nut TV with Jeff Wood and Katie Dugas, and we're green. Here we go. Bailey Cardwell off and running.
Yeah, he definitely didn't waste any time. He's going to try that high side, but look out. Nathan Kassler is coming for a vengeance on that bottom side, and Capron's going to run right up the middle.
As we almost did go 3 wide on that straightaway there, the outside line does prevail. Bailey Cardwell still holding off Jeremy Capron in that second position.
Yeah, I don't know if it's something with these corners, but like I said, either they're having to lift way up or they're having to get into the brakes. I mean, coming around these corners because it is so sharp, and you'll see them, I mean, scraping the grass down there coming out of one. And I mean, man, that has got to be rough.
As we watch Randy Arms move up into third position, taking that spot away from Nathan Kassler. Nathan Kassler fighting back on the inside, can't make it work. Yes, Katie, what I've noticed is that, especially when you're in cockpit, the cars, you can tell the major difference in speed through the corners here. As a 21 of Nathan Kassler takes it way up top.
I mean, they're going to try some brave moves tonight. I don't see that being a factor at any point. They're going to try to go high. They're going to try to go low. But, you know, it seems that they have it a little more figured out. So I think these guys are definitely going to try to run at least 2 wide, sometimes 3, maybe sometimes 4. Like I said, especially coming off of a caution run or maybe just going green. They're going to try everything they possibly can to get up to the front.
Cardwell definitely is rolling that bottom line. He has basically hooked what would be the apron in asphalt race, and he's hooking the grass. Coming down the front stretch, past the flag stand, going into one. We'll see if he jumps the nose again, and he does. He is hooking that front end entering turn one. Amazing, because the front end is jumping on the car, Katie. If you're not watching, you gotta tune in onto that 07 car and watch him. We'll see if he does it again this turn. The whole front end of the car is bouncing up in the air.
You know, how they hold on to it through some of this stuff just absolutely amazes me. I mean, it's got to be difficult for sure, but, you know, these guys make it look super easy.
Number 21 car, Nathan Kastler, still throwing it up there on the high side. Doesn't seem to be working. Low side seems to be pretty strong as we just have 2 laps to go. Bailey Cardwell out in front. Jeremy Caprone running in second. Randy Arms third. Nathan Kastler in fourth. Justin Sick back there in fifth. Dylan Ackhart in seventh. Hunter Qualls in seventh. And Brandon Murray sits on pit road. Here we go, final lap. Down the backstretch for the final time in this heat race. Bailey Cardwell making it look easy. Does slide up the track a little bit, but Caprone cannot close. Winner of your first heat race gonna be Bailey Cardwell. Jeremy Caprone crossing the line in second. Randy Arms crossing third. Fourth, Nathan Kastler. Fifth, Justin Sick. Sixth, Dylan Ackhart. Seventh, Hunter Qualls. And I don't believe he crossed the finish line. Brandon Murray was on pit road. All right, as our drivers start gridding up for heat race number 2, got the cameras on our leader for this heat race. Go ahead and shoot off the lineup here, Katie, and we'll go through those drivers.
All right, starting on the pole is going to be the 42 of Jordan Casey. To his outside, State Line's own Aaron Brumbelow. Topper Dugas sitting in third. Derek Dryman sitting in fourth. Andrew Fesden coming in fifth. Joel Bay starting in sixth. Dylan Gonez in seventh. Corey Budin, I'm not even going to butcher that last name, starting in eighth.
Budinat.
How about I just call him Corey, because I am not going to remember that.
All right, and as we take a look through the field as we were in blimp mode, I got to look at the 33 car, and we see Pit Pass, ASN, Hoosier, Trading Post, what looks like to be some rust stains and some rust on the car, but I'm going to let Katie give a little bit more about what that paint job represents.
Yeah, we picked that thing up out of the junkyard, knocked some rust off of it, and slapped it on the track. But Six Pack is one of Top's all-time favorite movies, and when we saw Jonathan Davenport running this at the World, I said, you know what, that would be a pretty cool-looking car to run. So we kind of tinkered with it a little bit, made the rust come to life, and, you know, if you haven't seen that movie, I have to say it is by far one of the greatest dirt track movies ever. So definitely a good one, and it was a fun one to make. We've got his dad back there on the quarter panel with Trading Post, and, you know, we got to put Pit Pass on it because, hey, that's me.
As it is, you can catch Katie on doing her Pit Pass thing on Loose Lug Nuts. I'm not sure where else she does post. I think she does some in Misfit Mods as well. She does rundown not just weekly, but after each race, talks about the drivers, talks about the race, among other things. So if you get a chance, go out there and definitely check out some of the fantastic journalistic skills that Katie puts on for Loose Lug Nuts.
Well, I appreciate that. It's just an in-depth view as to, you know, what we see. It shows these guys that there's so much more to iRacing than just, you know, running a video game. You know, I've shown driver features and sponsor features and now leagues, and definitely some in-depth reads. They're pretty lengthy, but, you know, I like to give you the feeling of being right there at the track.
And we definitely thank you for that. As the pace car gets ready to drop off, I'm going to let you get the call here. We are in a wide view mode.
All right, Jordan Casey's going to lead us to green. Aaron Brumbelow is not going to waste any time.
Oh, as we got a pile up going into turn 1, that pretty much took out almost everybody. Now, everybody did get going. We're going to jump back to Andrew Fezden. He got through. Dylan Gonis got through. Big loser there, Topper Dugas. Topper Dugas sitting back in 7th position now. Somebody pulling down
he
pit
wasn't too
road.
happy with that, and I know he had just apologized to everybody over the channel, but you know, it happens to the best of them.
The number 01 of Aaron Brumbelow taking it down pit road. Meanwhile, Jordan Casey out in front. He has a 1.5 second gap due to those issues that these guys had out there. Andrew Fezden, though, wasting no time. He's got himself up there in 2nd position. Dylan Gonis running 3rd after everything has kind of made its way across the track. Joel Bay has moved in the 4th position. Topper Dugas now trying to make some positions back up. Hops the grass right next to Derek Dryman. The 3-way battle back here towards the back between Topper, Derek, and Aaron. We'll see. This is kind of where the action is. I'll tell you right now, folks, the leader is out by 2 seconds. Topper is able to clear and puts a little bit of distance on the car of Derek Dryman.
Derek Dryman was dominating our speed charts coming through practice, and I mean, he's clearly shown he's a very good driver. Aaron Brumbelow sitting back there in that 01, though, that is one of the state line guys, and these guys don't show up to play. I mean, they have always run as very clean drivers. They have a very good reputation, but beware, when these Southern boys show up, they don't come to play.
A little bit of a, not really even a slide job. It was almost like a block slide type thing. And the 01 of, is it Brumbelow? Thank you. Sorry. The 01 of Brumbelow getting around him regardless, now going after Topper Dugas. Topper Dugas is closing in on the 202 of Joel Bay. This is going to get interesting. Here comes the 01 down on the bottom side. What's he going to do? He throws it in there, but manages to keep it down. Gets a good little drive off. Oh, as the 01 and the 444 get together a little bit there, that gives Topper a little bit of breathing room to try to go after that car in front of him with just 2 laps to go. Going to go back to our leader. Jordan Casey has checked out. He is 3.2 seconds out in front of the 110. We're going to look at the 110. We're going to go through the field here. Dylan Gonis in 3rd. He is 5 seconds back. Then Topper Dugas has just gotten around Joel Bay. Sorry, I had to go back to the leader, so we did miss that pass, but that'll put Joel Bay back to 5th place. Derek Dryman in the 4th. Oh, as he catches Joel Bay, the 3 cars in the back are now kind of all piled up. That's going to definitely change how everything finishes. Racing is coming to an end. Jordan Casey, your winner. Andrew Fezden going to take 2nd place. Dylan Gonis going to be taking your 3rd position. Topper Dugas going to be finishing in 4th as he comes around to take the checkered flag and to finish up the top 5 or the 5th position. Is that correct? That can't be correct. It is going to be Derek. Yeah, it's going to be 4th, and then 5th is going to be Derek Dryman. Sorry, there must have been a lap car in there, and here comes our feature race. It's going to be a 5-minute warm-up beforehand. Katie, I'm going to take a quick moment to go grab something to drink. I forgot to grab something to drink. I'll let you talk about what we're going to see in the feature, how many laps, that kind of thing, and I'll be right back.
Yeah, as Ron mentioned, we've got a 5-minute break here. We're going to be running 50 laps here tonight. And, you know, like I said, this is a tough track for some guys. It seems like these corners are going to be a little bit rough, and they're just going to struggle coming off of there a little bit. I think we're actually going to pull Brandon Murray up here. He had some unfortunate events there in his heat, but we'll see what he thinks about it here real quick. Hey, Brandon, it's Katie. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, Katie.
Well, that was a pretty rough heat. Can you kind of walk us through what happened?
I ran out of talent. I can't drive these cars, man.
Well,
I
I
just show
said
up
it
to
was
have
good
fun.
to see you come into the dirt side, and man, that second heat was, difficult for some of them. But do you think these drivers are going to struggle a little bit tonight?
No, they know what they're doing. I don't think these guys are gonna struggle with anything. If they're smart and don't make stupid mistakes, I don't think there's gonna be any struggles with them. They're all real good at what they do, so I don't see that being a problem.
All right, so are you going to take the grid with us tonight?
We'll find out in a couple of minutes. I don't plan on it, honestly. I'm not. I don't want to come in here and mess anybody's race up.
All right, so I'm going to ask you. Kind of got to watch some of the heats. Who do you think is our pick tonight?
Caldwell, Casey. Look for Fessenden to be pretty good. He had a pretty stout run in that heat. I know he had that wreck that kind of helped him out, but he's starting P4 on the grid, so you can't really count him out.
Now, do you think that's an issue with Randy Arms being right beside him?
No. Randy knows how to drive these cars. I know he struggles sometimes, but I don't see there being any issues between Andrew and Randy.
Okay, off topic of racing. Ron got to bring this up during, right before our heat. Have you ever noticed that Randy sounds a little like Dale Jr.?
We mess with him all the time about that. So yeah, it's funny too, because if you hang around enough, you'll notice that if Junior's broadcasting something or Junior's on TV doing a live spot or something like that, Randy's nowhere to be found. So we all kind of run with the theory that Randy is, in fact, Dale Earnhardt Jr.
See, I'm glad I'm not the only one that thinks so. I don't think it's a conspiracy for sure.
I don't believe in coincidences, so.
All right, sir. Well, I'm going to bump you back down to Misfits, and if we don't see you take the grid, maybe we'll pull you back up in the booth.
10-4, sounds good. I appreciate it.
Alrighty, that was Mr. Brandon Murray taking a little time to talk with Katie and good fine folks out there watching the race. Did I miss anything exciting, Katie, while I was gone?
Not really. We see these guys warming up and getting ready. Like I said, I'm curious to see how this is going to play out, because you've got some big guys up there, and you have two who are extremely bad. I mean, I'm not going to say bad luck, but they have the bad end of the stick when it comes to some cautions or internet issues. That's Fessenden and Gones. They tend to hang out towards the back of the field. Sometimes they'll have a good run come in, but like I said, just something bad will throw a kink in things. So to see them sitting up towards the top of our charts tonight, that is definitely super exciting coming from my end of things.
As we wind down, as you folks out there can see, we've got about 12 more seconds for the warm-up, and these gentlemen will be lining up, gridding up on the front stretch. We'll be bringing you the full grid where everybody's going to line up as this session does start to come to a close here. So we are going to have a couple minutes to talk about it. I don't know these gentlemen as well as you do, but I will be asking you for your pick for the win tonight, and I'm probably just going to pull a random random name out of the hat here and shoot for the best.
Bailey Cardwell is always extremely fast. Like I said, we have Capron sitting back there who is right atop the points right there, but Jordan Casey has not let me down when I've picked him for a race yet. So even though my buddy back there, Randy Arms, is sitting pretty close to the top, I'm actually going to go with Casey for the win.
Copy that. Well, the numbers again are going to be a little bit off here, folks, but we got our starting grid here up on screen. So Katie, you want to roll through the top 10 and I'll take the remainder?
Sure. Taking our poll is going to be Bailey Cardwell to his outside, Jordan Casey, Jeremy Capron sitting in third, Andrew Fesden sitting in fourth, Randy Arms starting in fifth, Dylan Gones to his outside. Last week's winner, Nathan Kassler and Topper Dugas will take 7 and 8. Justin Sick sitting in, I'm sorry, he will take 8th. Derek Dryman starting in 10th, and Dylan Ackhart starting in 10th.
I am not showing Dylan Ackhart out on the track. Showing lining up in the 12th position is going to be Aaron Brumbelow. 13th will be Hunter Qualls. 14th will be Joel Bay, and that is our field for the evening. 13 car of Brandon Murray decided not to take it out on the track, as he said in that interview, didn't want to mess with anyone's night. Now I am looking in blimp mode, and I'm seeing quite a bit of darkness down on that inside lane, Katie.
Yeah, that just means, this track's going to be rolling some rubber off there on the bottom. I really thought this was going to be a high side dominant track, but I mean, they're sliding around that bottom pretty good right now.
As we take a look at that 07 car, he was your heat race #1 leader and winner. Going to be starting out front. That is your pick from Katie Dugas for the win. I'm going to go out on a limb here, and oh man, this is going to be tough. I'm actually going to pick Capron. I don't really know Jeremy all that well, but I'm going to go with Capron for the win.
He's one of the biggest guys on Team VLR. I mean, a couple of these guys run D1RT or Team VLR, but he is one of the top names over there. Looks like we're going green, and Cardwell leads us off, but Casey is not leaving him much room running that top side.
Oh, and it looks like Cardwell jumps that inside maybe a little more than he wanted to. That did give the chance for Jordan Casey to get closer to him than he probably would have liked. Now he runs a better line this lap through the corner and does gap by about a car length over Jordan Casey. A lot of close racing. Right now looks like the closest racing we've got is the 21 car and the 111 car, I believe it is.
Yeah, that is going to be Nathan Kassler and our very own Flying Canadian, Dylan Gones.
Oh, and we've got a car down pit road.
That looks like the 444 of Derek Dryman.
As we see the other 21, Hunter Qualls get into the wall. Dryman down pit road and out of his car. Not sure exactly what happened or why, as we have a change possibly for the lead. We definitely have a challenge for the lead, as Jeremy Capron is throwing it down on the inside of Bailey Cardwell.
But they need to watch out. Jordan Casey is coming around, and I think he is fixing to bring us 3 wide here shortly.
Looks like Capron sliding up ever so slightly. That outside lane possibly starting to work now. Very good drive off this time by Jeremy Capron. Equally matched on the outside by Bailey Cardwell. Cardwell continuing to lead these laps. As Cardwell just barely touches that wall, is that going to slow him down? No, it's not. Capron with the slide job. Slides up in front of the 07. I think maybe he wants the outside. He does make it stick, but does go right back to the bottom. Slides it up high coming out of the corner. That's going to give the 07 a chance to get underneath him. 07 throws it in. Here comes the slide job. Massive slide job. Gets up into the wall. We're going to be almost 4 wide here. Cardwell still staying out front. Capron right there, literally right next to him with the number 42 of Jordan Casey right there in the mix of it all.
Man, how these guys can hold this together is just beyond me. I mean, they have got to be practically inside each other's cars whenever we see them get that close. But I mean, how they can hold on to it and not get, flustered or anything. Look at Randy Arms coming with the bottom side.
That's exactly. I was waiting for a chance to say, look out, don't blink, because here comes Randy Arms as the 42 gets sideways and right in front of Randy Arms. He's got to lift a little bit. That's going to cost him as Caprone jumps down to the inside once again. Man, these guys are going at it. Here comes, almost a slide job. Decided not to go for the full out slide job. Side by side. Wow, intense racing here.
Yeah, it's hard to take your eyes off the front of this field. And look, Randy Arms is fixing to try for third. And I'm going to use his famous words. He always tells us, I ain't lifting. And I'm telling you tonight, it doesn't look like he has. Maybe a little bit coming out of some of those corners, but these guys need to watch out in 1, 2, and 3.
I've gone to a little bit wider view. I was kind of closer, and I'd like to check on some of the cars in the back, but the racing is so intense up front that I don't want to take away from what's going on up front, and I hate that for the guys in the back. But Jeremy Caprone's starting to pull away just a little bit now. I'm not sure if it'll stay that way. Cardwell still using that little jump method going through one. Jordan Casey now in third position. They kind of have gone single file here, not as much. And as I say that, it looks like it's going to kind of get a little bit tighter.
Yeah, I mean, we're going 50 laps and we're only 14 in. And these guys, I mean, they're driving it like this is the last lap. It's hard to take your eyes off of that front. But yeah, our front four are definitely up there. Nathan Kassler's kind of sitting back there in fifth, waiting. I'm thinking just waiting to pounce that one of these guys is going to mess up. This is a fantastic run here for Dylan Gonez, Andrew Fezden, Topper Dugas still sitting in 8th. Justin Sick back there in 9th. Aaron Brumbelow still in 10th. And, I mean, that's kind of your field right now. It's hard to take your eyes off the front. But like I said, I'm thinking Nathan Kassler is just either kind of waiting to save that car just a little bit or waiting on one of these front four to slip.
As the action gets tight once again, the 42 car of Jordan Casey throwing it to the high side. He had gotten to Bailey Cardwell, not able to complete the pass, but he is right there waiting to pounce at a moment's notice. Randy Arms also very close as we get a great shot of just how close to the wall he's running. The number 42 is running, getting a great run off the corner, but cannot get to or under that number 07.
I mean, these guys are running it extremely tight up front. Like I said, how they can hold it that close together. I mean, I would have done messed it up by now, but I mean, they're bringing us almost 3 wide coming out of the turn yet again.
42 car had a definite shot to actually throw a full-on slide job on the 07 of Bailey Cardwell. Chose not to. We will probably see it this time. No, he does not. He gets on the brakes, keeps it from going up. They do touch a little bit coming onto the corner. It's just good hard racing. You're going to see that at dirt tracks. You're probably going to see that at some asphalt tracks as well. But nonetheless, here's Randy Arms waiting. 42 bounced off the wall a couple times. It really loses him a little bit of momentum. Allows Randy Arms to close in. Opens up the gap. The 07 now is no longer under fire and going back after Jeremy Caprone.
Man, he's trying. I'm telling you, it's something with that Cardwell name. These guys are just fast. I mean, they can run that bottom side. And like I said, how they can do it is unbelievable to me. I mean, they're basically scraping this grass coming around, where in asphalt, I've learned you touch that grass, you're pretty much done for. And, you know, they just have a tendency of making it work.
He definitely seems to know what it'll do. I'm not sure if he's using it to slow him up or if that's just something else. You know, I don't run these cars, so I'm not sure what exactly it's doing for him. Meanwhile, out front, Jeremy Caprone just about a half a second lead. Nothing that he can sit back and cruise to a win with. He's gonna have to drive that car the rest of the race, and we're not even halfway there.
Like I said, these guys have given us a show in the first 21 for sure, that you would think these are the final, 2 and 3 laps. But I mean, wow. I'm holding my breath through some of this because how they're making it work is beyond me.
I do believe that Bailey Cardwell is closing ever so slightly. It looks like he's down to just under a half a second. So real quick, we're going to start at the back of the field and talk about some of the guys still out there running. We've got Aaron Brumbelow in the 10th position. He's fighting with Justin Sick for the 9th position. One spot forward, we got Topper Dugas he's about 3 car lengths from Andrew Fezenden. And we've got Dylan Gonis just in front of him. So those 3 are within striking distance of each other. Then there is a pretty good sized gap at this point, almost a full straightaway back to or from Nathan Kastler, sorry. As some more action is heating up front, we need to get back up there real quick. Like Randy Arms is running 4th, and Jordan Casey and Bailey Cardwell going at it again. Here comes the slide job. He does commit to a slide job. Crossover move by Bailey Cardwell, going to put Bailey Cardwell right back in front. I had seen the 42 car of Jordan Casey with a kind of almost like an attempted slide job, but really didn't commit to it. He committed to it that time, but it did not work out as well as I think he wanted it to.
No, but only being halfway. I can't say they're holding back on their cars any, because you really can't do that, in dirt track racing as much as you can asphalt. Sometimes you just want to sit back and let your car hold off, maybe charge to the front with the last 10, 15 to go. But I mean, these guys are absolutely, I'm going to say, balls to the wall. I mean, flooring it tonight.
And you can say that here on Exile Broadcasting. I don't know if you can say that other places, but you can definitely say it here because that is exactly what is happening out there. We don't cuss and swear, but I don't think that saying balls is really anything too derogatory at all. As we continue to watch, Jeremy Caprone is starting to pull away a little bit. I don't know if it's if the track has gone away for the 07 as we see him go up top now, maybe searching for something different because he was running the low line. We'll see if he can close the gap. The gap right now is exactly 1.049 seconds. So we'll check here in a couple laps and see if running the high side is doing anything for Bailey Cardwell, as he is able to hold on to that second place. Obviously, we know that he wants to get up to the front and challenge for the win. The 42 car, Jordan Casey, still running solidly in that 3rd position, continuing to put pressure on the 07 as he once again goes low, but no way to do a slide job, loses a little bit of momentum, can't get it done that way.
We've seen Casey have some serious contact with that outside wall. And I mean, you're seeing him come through with those, attempted sliders, but it's like he gets to that back quarter panel and either he's having to lift way off or he just doesn't have the car to make it stick. Randy Arms back there is fixing to give him everything he can handle, though. I think coming here right towards the end, Randy's really going to charge to the front and attempt to get on that podium tonight.
Oh, as we see the 07 dipping it so low, he actually hit a cone, and I don't know if that's going to be a penalty or not. He hit a green cone, so I'm not sure if that's a penalty. But he is throwing it in so low he actually clipped one of the cones, and we have Randy Arms really starting to bring it on, like you said. The gap now from first to second place is 1.2 seconds. So Bailey Cardwell had gone to the high side, figured out it didn't work. Oh no, and Cardwell goes around. I don't know if that is going to bring out a caution. We're going to go ahead and rewind it and see if we can find out exactly what happened there.
I think he just dove it too low and got around because it didn't look like there was any contact there at all. And this is really going to shake things up because this is going to put Arms alongside Caprone for the restart with Casey right behind him and Kastler. They had put so much of a lead on that. And, our 3 lug nut guys back there, Topper and Dylan and Fez back there, I mean, they were putting on an absolute show. I was trying to stay zoomed out for everything, but it was really hard. But these three guys were fighting really hard for position back there without being overly aggressive. I mean, but we're just absolutely dominating this track.
Now I am taking a look at that replay, and believe it or not, there was some contact, although it is minimal. It looks like a netcode type contact because he's sideways and the 42 car comes up and there's a netcode there. So I definitely do not believe that it was intentional at all, just a misfortune. We'll see how that plays out here.
You know, that's still going to leave him in 4th place, which, I mean, he has a lot of potential right there. And I mean, these guys, these front four are definitely going to take it pretty aggressive coming off of this caution.
All right, so I would imagine that we were probably getting ready to go green here. So our leader, Jeremy Caprone, is going to fire us off. Randy Arms 2nd, Nathan Kastler 3rd, Bailey Cardwell 4th. Topper Dugas is up to 5th, Dylan Gonas 6th, Andrew Fezenden is in 7th, Aaron Brumbelow is in 8th, Justin Sick 9th, and your last car out there is the 42 of Justin Casey. So Casey going to the back for that. Not sure if that was on his own accord or if that was a league imposed rule or what. But in any case, pace car is getting ready to duck off. Going to give it to you.
Well, it looked like Casey actually gave himself an EOL, but we are back racing as Caprone fires off Randy Arms. But watch out. Here comes Bailey Cardwell alongside Randy Arms for 2nd.
As we make our way through turns 2, we're almost 3 wide. Arms on the outside. Bailey Cardwell on the inside. Who's going to prevail? It is going to be Bailey Cardwell. It doesn't look like Randy Arms maybe got the run that he wanted through there. As we look at the... Oh, no, and it looks like Cardwell goes for a spin again, and that's going to collect quite a few cars. I'm not even going to bother going to the replay because you saw it all live. I can go back and show you. We got a car smoking. Unfortunately, Topper involved in it. Dylan Gonas is involved in it. Bailey Cardwell has taken and towed, it looks like. Quite a few cars caught up in that one. I can try to go back and see actually. Let's see. It was Bailey Cardwell. Let's go ahead and roll it back.
I'll tell you, that big of a caution has put Jordan Casey back up there in 4th yet again. Justin 6th sitting right back there in 5th. I mean, this is going to dwindle our field down a little bit, but you know, it's going to be hard for sure.
All right, folks, here we go. I'm going to change the angle to a rear chase, and we're going to go slow motion. We're going to see if we can see exactly what happened here. Another netcode even. I mean, it was close. There may have been contact anyways, but that was definitely netcode. You see the 111, the 33, the 17, the 01, the 110, all involved in that. That was a definite netcode, but nonetheless, no consolation prizes for that. That definitely sucks. That ended up taking Bailey Cardwell out, as well as what looks to be Aaron Brumbelow has taken it to the pits as well. So down to 8. Katie, we had such a great race going. You talked about the difficulties on Wednesday night, but we had such a great race going for 30 plus laps, and now 2 cautions have happened back to back, and both of them, in my opinion, from what I saw, I'm not going to spend an exorbitant amount of time going back and, you know, microscopically looking at everything, but both of them look like netcodes to me, and this is definitely going to change what goes on here as we get ready to go green. Jeremy Caprone fires off. Sorry, didn't realize we were actually going green because we were single file. Get through 1 and 2 pretty cleanly. Caprone on the outside. Here comes Randy Arms on the inside. Holy cows, where did he come from? Randy Arms throws it in low. Is he going to throw it in hard enough to make it stick? And by making it stick,
9 to go, he really is giving it to him.
I'm not gonna lie, I actually thought about taking Randy Arms for the win, but I thought to myself, you know, Randy kind of says he's kind of like a top 5 driver, so I was like, oh, I'll go with somebody else. Randy Arms really putting it on right now, pouring on the coals here. He's got something going on that low line. Caprone had pulled out to a 1+ second lead. He has got to be just aggravated right now and trying to find some way to get back to the front.
Oh, he's definitely going to scrape, and Randy Arms has shown us over and over again. He can say all he wants that he doubts himself, that he's not any good, and we have seen him come from the back of the pack all the way back up to the front, you know, not only for wins, but, you know, top 5 finishes. So he definitely downs himself a good bit, but tonight, I mean, he's definitely showing a different side.
He is pulling a similar line that Bailey Cardwell was pulling. He is running as low as he possibly can. Caprone taking a slightly different approach. Almost got to the back of him there. Loses a little bit of momentum, I believe, because of it. Randy Arms with just about 5 laps to go. Caprone moving towards the high side, trying to find some grip, trying to find some speed off the corner. Loses just a little bit of time there. Oh, as I think, I'm not positive, but I think Randy Arms took it in maybe a little bit easier than Caprone expected. Might have been contact. I'm not positive.
I was actually watching back here in 5 and 6. Justin and Topper are back there. I mean, just fighting it out. I have seen slide job over slide job. So I'm kind of giving you the front of the field here, and I'm taking the back end because these guys are really fighting back here. And, you know, I hate to say that and cause something really bad to happen, but man, they are fighting.
Caprone is throwing it in the corner, hoping that it'll stick on the outside, trying to get some momentum to get around Randy Arms with 3 laps to go, I believe, coming to 2 laps to go. I don't know. Randy Arms has just picked the absolute perfect time to get where he was, and now I know it was all circumstantial, but he is putting it on right now and pulling away from Caprone. As we have a caution, and Justin Sick was involved. We'll back that up a little bit. Change our camera angle once again. We'll go rear chase.
Well, this brings us to a green-white checkered, and man, to have Randy leading it with Caprone on his outside and Kassler right there. I mean, just right at that top, and he's coming off that victory from last week. So, oh man, this is going to be a definite interesting last 2 laps.
So it looks like Justin Sick accidentally got into Topper, got in the corner real hard. Don't think it was intentional. As Katie said, going to be a green-white checkered. This is showing finishing because it won't show that on AVTO. So it looks like we're going to have a quick little sprint to the end here. As long as we complete 1 lap, the race will be over after the next flag. If there's something that happens before the leader crosses the line for the next lap, then I don't know how many green white checkers there are. If there's only 1, the race will be over, but if there are more, then we will have a chance for another green white checkered as The pace truck comes around one more time. Thought we were going to be going green there, but I don't know, Katie. What do you think? I mean, my pick was Caprone, but I'm kind of secretly rooting for Arms because he's not the typical dirt track guy. He's not out there. Looks like the guy can drive just about anything.
He can. Like I said, I've seen him on asphalt. I've seen him on dirt. And this guy's just good. I mean, there's no other way to put it. And like I said, I've seen him come from the back all the way to get a win. So to see him over some of these guys is definitely pretty exciting. And, secretly, I'm hoping he gets right up there to the checker, too.
All right, fans, don't look away now. I promise you this is going to be intense. Randy Arms out front, Jeremy Caprone in second. Those two are going to go at it. The big winner could be Nathan Kastler. As he fires off, Randy Arms gets a huge jump. Going into turn one, throws it in there. Caprone closes in on the back bumper ever so slightly. Arms up the track just a little bit. Caprone has pulled back in just a little. Oh, Arms gets sideways. That's going to allow Caprone to get underneath him. One to go. Here we go.
Yeah, Randy's putting on a good block up there, but Caprone's going to try everything he can coming around these last couple of corners.
Randy's going to throw it low. He's going to take him on the outside or do a crossover. Caprone tries to get to the bottom. Don't think he's going to get there. Maybe. Oh, no. I have no idea who won.
That was Caprone.
It's showing Caprone.
Side
We are going
battle.
to,
I mean,
I'm
this is
backing
a
this up.
race.
Hang on a second. I'm going to change the camera and we are backing this up. I totally messed that up, folks. Hang on, give me 1 second. Katie, if you want to get everybody ready for interviews, we got to see this. I accidentally messed this up.
Now, for those of you who haven't seen it at home, 8 1,000ths of a second was what separated your first and second place positions.
All right, folks, we're going to go slow-mo. I'm going to slow it down even more. We're going to take it down to 1/8 speed as the leaders are coming to the checkered flag. Randy Arms was out in front. Jeremy Caprone slowly inching his way forward. I don't know if I have the right angle exactly to tell you, but that's how close it was. It was a half of a nose. All right, Katie's got us lined up for our winner. Jeremy Caprone, we're going to drag him on up in here. Jeremy Caprone, this is Ron Klein up in the booth. You got a copy?
Sure do. How's it going?
Wow. First of all, wow.
Yeah, that was one of the greatest races I've ever done, man. That was insane.
Okay, so I thought Randy Arms had it. Coming out of 4, I thought, nah, he didn't leave enough, down there for Caprone to get the drive off. He's got it. And then all of a sudden, coming off of 4, a few 100 yards, whatever, not even 50 yards off, I noticed that you were gaining, you're closing. And I was like, wait a minute, it's not over yet. And when you guys crossed the finish line, I couldn't call it. At first, it showed Arms as the leader. And then all of a sudden, it switched and said that you were the leader. So, officially, you have won the race by 0.008 seconds, which is obviously 8,000ths of a second. Tell me about that drive, tell me about that win, and tell me how excited you are right now.
I tell you what, that caution came out and I could see him battling back there. I'm like, I got a pretty comfortable lead. Keep it green. I can just run my line and I don't have to worry too much. And that caution came and I really wasn't paying attention to see what other lines everybody was running. And Randy got on the inside of me there, and it cut off the line I wanted to run. And he eventually got around me, and I was like, "Oh man, you can't tell me I'm gonna lose this thing." But we had that last caution there, and I'm like going into 4. I knew he was gonna stay low, so I'm like, I just have to stay calm, and hopefully there's just a little bit of a window for me to squeak in there, and I sure did. I tell you what, I just romped on it coming down that straight, and it was a drag race, and that was one of the funnest races I've ever done.
Well, I hate to say this, but you were my pick. And in the end, because we talked to Randy in the pre-race, and Randy was like, I'm just hoping to get a top 5. So I was like, Katie's like, well, this will be my pick. And I was like, I don't know a whole lot about the league, but I know Jeremy's pretty fast. I saw him last week. I'm going to pick Caprone to win. So I won, but I got to tell you, I was rooting for the underdog because I felt like Randy was the underdog here. But a huge congratulations to you, and thank you very much for putting on one hell of a show, because that was something to watch at the end. I will definitely be posting in Loose Lug Nuts that everybody needs to at least go watch the last few laps of the race, because that was phenomenal racing. I thought the whole race was phenomenal, to be completely honest, but to have that close of a finish at a dirt track, that's phenomenal.
Yeah, I thought tonight overall was a really good race from beginning to end. We had a few little cautions there in the halfway point, but overall it was a lot better than I thought it would go. And like I said, to have a finish like that, even if he would have beat me, I wouldn't have cared, because that was such a good finish. But obviously, I'm happier to come out on top.
As I would be. Thank you so much for coming out and racing tonight. Congratulations on the first place. Give you a quick minute if you'd like to give anybody out there a shout out or thanks, or say hi to anybody, or whatever you would like.
Yeah, I got to thank Capron Screen Printing, iRacing, iFlag, BladeNode.com, Hanover Wrecking, obviously Team VLR, Team FTP, Dirty Grass Soul, C Motorsports, and man, I think I got everybody. And thanks to the guys for putting this league on, and it's a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying this league, and thank you for doing the broadcast.
No problem. And once again, big congratulations, Katie. Any final thoughts, words, piece of advice, anything at all for our winner, Jeremy Caprone?
You pretty much summed it up with wow. I mean, that was just a phenomenal finish. And I mean, personally, I'm getting this sent to iRacing for some of the best highlights of September.
Oh, yeah. Wow. I didn't even think about that.
So this is still going to leave you our points guide, Jeremy. So congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, that was hats off to Randy, man. That was a great race. And we did it clean too. We didn't dirty each other, so I'm real happy with that race there.
Alrighty, well, there you go, folks. There's your winner for tonight's race, Jeremy Caprone, driving the number 23. He gave all his shout-outs, talked about all his sponsors. We're going to drag up the second place finisher of Randy Arms, and hopefully he's got a copy.
Yeah, I got you, bud.
Alrighty, I'm going to go ahead and let Katie take this, because I got the first one, and I got to tell you, man, the beginning started with wow.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
That was definitely the summary of the last couple of laps. Randy, we really thought you had it won. 0.008 of a second. How does that feel?
Terrible. I mean, that just, I mean, I thought, say we took the restart and I got a good jump, and I don't know what it was, but my car just wouldn't stay on the bottom like it was, and I just missed the bottom there on the last turn, and he got under me, and then that's about all she wrote.
Man, I don't even know what to say. This had us all on the edge of our seats, and that was a very exciting finish, and we really didn't know who took the win there. But after that second caution, I mean, you kind of charged back up there to the front, and you were a force to be reckoned with there.
Yeah, I didn't. I mean, like I was kind of in shock myself, because I thought, once we took the green, that the 23 would just take off, and I dove to the bottom, and then all of a sudden I'm in the lead. I was like, oh, okay, we might have a shot here. And yeah, I just started to slowly pull away. He did close in on me right before we had that last caution, but I think if we wouldn't have had that, I think we had the race won. But you know, that's just how it goes, and I'm just glad that I could run with those guys because these are some of the best guys on the game. So anytime you can compete with those guys, you know, it's a win.
Definitely. And like I said, there's no other way to put that other than wow. So, I mean, I'm going to say congratulations on your second place finish. And it pains me to say that, but do you have any sponsors or anyone in particular you want to thank tonight?
Let's see. I want to thank the Octane Race Products, Posky's Performance Parts. Then I want to thank you guys for putting on the broadcast. I think Matt's supposed to be here tonight, and he might have had some issues. So I'm just glad that we was able to get this one on, you know, on the air because I mean that whole race really was a good race. You know, I think me, the 23, Cardwell, and the 42. You know, we were all right there pretty much the whole race, and the 21, he was just behind us. So, yeah, just I mean, it was a good night. So, well, I'm not sure where we're at for next week, but we'll come back and see if we can do her again.
All right, sir. Well, like I said, once again, congratulations on your second place finish, even though it hurts
Thank
to
you.
say that one.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was your second place finisher of Randy Arms. Heartbreak loss there, but a hard fought second place. We're going to jump to our third place finisher of Nathan Kassler. Nathan Kassler, the Surround client up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, I do.
All right, sir. Well, you were competitive all night long. You were up in that front pack the whole night long. Did you have any shot at getting to the front, you think?
Nah, I was pretty much settled for third. Those two were just gone. I just couldn't figure out what they were doing to get that little bit of an edge and just kind of work their way away from me.
Third place can't be too disappointed with. I mean, you kept a pretty clean car. We're looking at your car now, and I don't see any real damage on the car. Looked like you had a clean race out there. You were quick enough to stay with the front pack and walk away with third. So that's got to feel pretty good.
Yeah, when you come away with top three, it's always a good day, and just had to keep my nose clean, just kind of wait for things to happen.
Well, do you have any good battles out there? I mean, I know that it looked like you and Randy had battled a little bit, and then I'm sorry, I can't remember who else you were battling with, but I was very surprised at the, I want to say aggression, but man, it just looked like you guys were driving so hard out there.
Yeah, you almost had to drive the car super hard, but if you just missed it just a little bit, you paid the price big time as far as lap time, and people catch you really, really fast.
Copy that. Well, congratulations on a third place. Anybody out there that you'd like to give a shout out to or thanks?
Yeah, I'd like to give thanks to all the guys at Mud Duck Racing, and then I'd like to thank sponsors TNA Hepner Trucking, Jerky Dudes, Russell Brown Race Cars, Hanover Wrecker Service, Bordwin and Wayne Restoration, Rouse iRacing Photography, and iRacing Knife Leg.
Well, copy that. Once again, congratulations on your third place finish. Ladies and gentlemen, Nathan Kassler in the number 21 car bringing it home third place.
Thank you.
All right, we'll bring up our fourth place finisher. I will let you interview the fourth place finisher of Topper Dugas. Topper Dugas, you got a copy?
Yes, sir. How about you?
Got you loud and clear, sir. We're going to turn it over to Miss Katie to throw a little interview in with you.
Well, I've got to say, that was a fantastic race. How was it from your perspective?
I was just holding on.
Now, our eyes stayed to the front of the field a lot of the night, but we saw some phenomenal runs right there at the end between you and Justin Sick and mid race between you and Dylan and Fez. I mean, I got to say, a fourth place finish is pretty phenomenal for you. So I'm going to say congratulations. But how was this race tonight for you?
It went a lot better than I expected it to. I really expected it to be a lot of cautions, and man, I was so ready for that first caution. I think all of us were. We were about all wore out.
So we saw some pretty intense battles between you and Justin and Dylan and Fez. Who was your biggest competition tonight as far as, in relative terms to your car?
I would say Fez. I mean, it seemed like me and Fez run the first half of the race side by side. And then I'm really not sure what happened to him. I think he might have slid into the wall there and let me get away from him. And then I ran Dylan down. And then we went back green after the second caution, I ended up catching Justin. I think he'd run it in there, hit the wall in 1 and 2, and I was able to get beside him. So
overall, like I said, fourth place finish has got to feel good. Do you have any sponsors or anyone in particular or special that might be sitting behind you tonight?
oh yeah, you. That's all. That's all I've got.
We even
I
heard
really-
the awe in the background.
I really appreciate you doing this for us, Ron, and I appreciate everything that's going into this. It's a pretty big deal. I mean, we've kind of made this into something, and then we started with nothing. So
Well, I'll tell you what, I know this is Katie's interview, but I'm going to jump in momentarily. This way it's not biased. You guys put on one hell of a show tonight. There was racing throughout the field, and I got to tell you, if you didn't see it, go watch the replay yourself on your own simulator or watch the broadcast. The finish was absolutely breathtaking. Thank you for all that you guys do. Thank you for putting on a great show, and congratulations on a fourth place finish tonight.
thank you, Ron. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was the fourth place finisher of Topper Dugas. We're going to slide in one last interview with our fifth place finisher, Justin Six. Sorry for pulling you out of the channel, but Justin, you got a copy, obviously. Brought you up here. We kind of made it a deal to do top 5 interviews, so we're going to continue that tradition tonight. You did come across in 5th position. Talk to us about your night, about the car, about the competition, and about the race in general.
It was rough. In the beginning, got in a little incident toward the beginning, nothing serious. That slowed me down a little bit, so I was trying to catch up. And with me trying to catch up, I just was in over my head a little bit, kept knocking the wall down, and just praying for that first yellow, and we got it. So I'm pretty good with restarts. I did all right there, and then there was a few more yellows after that, and I was just trying to stay patient, like I had said earlier on, and it paid off. Competition's good. It's never a dull moment with these guys. I enjoy racing with everybody here, and I don't know. It was a good time.
Well, from my side of things, the racing was fantastic. I want to say thank you, and with that, I'm actually going to hand it over to Katie to finish out the interview.
Man, that was a really intense race. And, right there at the end, we saw you and Top putting on some serious fights there. I mean, at any point, did you think you had a top, maybe 3 car versus a top 5 car?
I did. It was fun. I like racing with Topper, and we had a little contact there. It wasn't, no big deal or nothing, but yeah, I was trying everything. The bottom seemed to be the best place for me, so that's where I was trying to keep it for the most part. I felt if I could have gotten by Topper, maybe another yellow with a restart, I probably would have been all right, but we made the contact. I spun out, and luckily I made my spot back. But yeah, it was exciting.
Yeah, it was we were definitely on the edge of our seats for sure, and there was no other way to put that other than wow. You were sitting in third place in points coming into tonight. Obviously, with Thornhill not taking the grid, that's going to bump you up into our second place spot. So we go to Lima Land next week. Do you have any strategy going into that race?
Um, I'm gonna practice a lot because Lima Land's not exactly my stronger. I don't know. I'm not really strong at that track. So a lot of practice, and I guess we'll see where I start, and uh, just kind of stay patient. That's my strategy every race I go into for the most part is just be patient. It'll happen, and that seems to work in my favor sometimes.
Well, it obviously worked for you tonight. Like I said, making that top five, it's going to put you second place in points. So, do you have any sponsors or anyone in particular you want to thank tonight?
Yeah, I'd like to thank 3D Racing. I had just got brought on over there, and everything's been really great. Um, they've got a lot of sponsors. I still have yet to, find them all. So thanks to all those guys that help support us, and thanks to all you guys, loose lug nuts, misfit guys. It's always a good time. Always, always a good time.
All right, sir. Well, once again, congratulations on your top five, and we will see you next week at Lima Land.
Right on. Thank you.
You summed it up with wow. I mean, I really thought Randy had it there at the end, but Jeremy apparently pulled out no stops, and man, what a finish. Yeah, I mean, we got to say thank you to all these guys that tune in every week, and definitely thank you for doing this last minute. But man, I would have hated to have not seen this race broadcasted because, oh man, Jeremy and Randy definitely gave us everything we needed tonight for sure.